Welcome, one and all, to another interview, another spectacular interview with the DIG Shiphtur himself from Roscoe. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm pretty good. It's a fantastic few days before LCS. I'm excited. It's gonna be cool. Are you excited for the LCS?
A little bit. I mean, just because beginning of the season, everyone's kind of rushed to get ready because of off season, all that, holidays, etc.
No, that is true. Yeah, because holidays are just right before this. So you guys did get together. You had Cologne, but you were together for just generic scrims, right? But even before the holidays.
Yeah, we were scrimming a bit before for I Am Cologne, but I mean, the break was really long, and obviously there's a new patch coming out. So like the practice before it was, I'm not gonna say it's a waste, but it wasn't as effective as it could be if we ground it out right now.
Yeah, it's with the holidays before it can get kind of tricky, but of course you guys will probably flesh out and everyone will smooth out as you get into the LCS. But how has the team practice been? Like, I guess if that first stuff was kind of a lot more of just getting the synergy between each other. How was Cologne?
Cologne, well, I've been there last year. It's pretty much exactly the same as last year, actually. Like, it's the same venue and everything. The only thing that was different was that they're Chinese and Korean teams this time, which was really interesting to play against. They play a lot of difference from Western teams, and that was probably the biggest difference.
Do you have any particular instances that you can remember about differences between the Asian and European teams?
Well, for Chinese teams specifically, like, they actually just want to fight you all the time. Like on Reddit and all that, everyone says Chinese teams really love to fight, but like you don't really know till you actually experience it, and it was actually really cool to play against.
All right, yeah, probably a little refreshing, like something new, yeah. And of course, it is always nice when we get to experience some international play because it's not that often. Yeah, but speaking back to scrims, you guys have not been able to scrim everybody. Of course, schedules differ. You don't want to play the people you're playing first. Based off of who you've been able to play so far, what's the kind of feels you've been getting for the teams? Anyone that's kind of standing out or not so much?
I'd say the only team that really stands out is Immortals. Like, I think they'll definitely be a top 3 team. Well, judging from scrims, obviously, but the other teams kind of just like aren't on the level at the moment.
That's actually something. Curious said the same thing. Yeah, he that's exactly what he thinks. And when you scrim against them, of course, it's about practicing your strategies. But whenever you're scrimming against somebody, are there different things that you can glean and like learn from maybe how they play, or there's like a particular type of strategy they're trying to pull? Is there anything that you do learn when you're scrimming against somebody, or is it just kind of about yourself?
I think every team has like their own kind of like niche in which like how they play, like, or maybe they have a different shot caller in a different position, and that position just does things way different than a position like that doesn't do, like, isn't there a leader, isn't there a shot caller. So there's obviously things we can copy, but we don't copy it exactly, just like kind of like take what works for us and what doesn't.
Well, yeah, not necessarily like copy, but like you'll see it and know it for what it is and be able to expect it or something like that. Okay, yeah. Are there any mid laners you're looking forward to playing against in particular? Like maybe Froggen, he's over here now. Could be interesting.
Actually, Froggen is the player I want to play against the most, just because I've played against all these other mid laners before. Like, I even played against GBM when I boot camped in Korea this off season. So I think Froggen is the only mid laner I haven't played against, except for, was it Tips mid laner, that Korean guy or something? Yeah, I don't know. Some other Korean import nowadays. Yeah, but probably Froggen.
Yeah, it should be cool. Yeah, he's a fun guy and a pretty good player. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the current roster? You've been with us for a while now. How have you been feeling about this particular year and these guys?
Oh, I love this roster. Like, me and Kiwi, we've been DIG forever now, and I'm really happy that Apollo's on our team. Like, me and him were really good friends back on Coast, and it's really refreshing for him to be playing with him again. And as for Smee and Kire, like, this is probably the smartest roster DIG has ever had. They're like 5 players with a brain. Like, we figure everything out together. It's really nice to have.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the old connections, like Kiwi and Apollo used to play friggin' like Dota together. You used to play with Apollo on Coast. It's pretty good, and especially you got lots of different staff. Like you got Jesse, Raz. How have they been so far?
Well, it's only been about a week and a half with them in the house, and honestly, it's so nice. They facilitate conversations really well. There isn't any like arguments, and if there is, it's just discussed healthily, and we always come to conclusion, and it's really positive, really positive.
Yeah. Well, with those good words, what are your expectations for the upcoming split?
I think
for the team.
I mean, everyone thinks we're gonna be ninth, so anything above ninth is a bonus. But realistically, I think we're at least aiming for playoffs this spring split. Like maybe we won't be top tier or anything, but I think playoffs is definitely a good goal for a new team for spring split.
Good to hear. Yeah, Kiri was saying something about definitely not ninth, so who knows, maybe 10th. Apollo was saying that like it's an interesting the idea of goals and speaking about worlds and stuff like that, because worlds become something so kind of cliche to say, but at the same time that's it. That is the goal. Like that's it. But it should be cool to see how far you guys can get. Yeah. And let's talk a little bit about your individual play. Like you did go to Korea. Do you think that you kind of have changed? How have you feel like you've changed and grown since you joined Dignitas?
I think in Korea, like what Korean Solki taught me was that you just have to be a smart player or you lose. Like you can't just brainlessly move around the map or brainlessly trade or lean on one side of the lane or the other. Like you actually have to think about every single thing you do, and if you don't, you can actually lose the game for your team. And
and not just lane, it'll actually affect the rest of them.
Yeah, like it just makes you like stay sharp and on your game. In NA solo queue, like you kind of lazily like go about and do what you want to do, but in Korea, it's really strict over there, and it helps you focus a lot.
Okay, so one of my next questions was talking about one of the different things, or talking about what you've enjoyed the most playing internationally, like Cologne or Korea. Is that something you've enjoyed learning, or is there anything else?
I touched on it a bit earlier, but experiencing different playstyles is honestly so cool. Like in NA, you experience the same trolls, like same one-trick pony players, and you just kind of it gets repetitive playing against the same players over and over. You know what's gonna happen. This player's gonna do this player's gonna do that. But when you go to Korea, you play against like Chinese players, whatever, Koreans. Yeah. They play the game like right. I don't know how to explain it. Everyone in the game knows what to do in every given time, and it feels a lot more like a scrim than it does solo queue. And in NA, it's just a mess.
Yeah, so with all those NA trolls, it's nice to experience some Chinese trolls and Korean trolls every once in a while. But are you enjoying the current meta though? Like the season 6 stuff, the changes? How are you faring in the changes?
I think this meta is great, actually. I think it almost feels like every champion's viable, every team comp or playstyle is viable. You can play safe, you can play aggressive. Honestly, it's just like up to how your team wants to play. And I think there's not just assassins, there's support mages. They're all like viable, and one's not worse than the other, except for like a few champions.
Well, are there any different things that you would like to change, perhaps add or take away that you are liking so much?
The only thing that's kind of weird in the game right now is probably Frost Queen's claim that it's like super viable for mid laners. Not even viable, it's like overpowered. Like the active just gives you so much control. It replaces your CDRM with like something just like way more useful, and it kind of like breaks the mid lane meta sort of. Yeah, it's just I don't think it's healthy for the game.
Yeah, I remember one of the first times. It had been a little while since I played League, and then they brought that in around the same time as the Poro King stuff. And I was like, why does everyone have spooky ghosties on air? I'm like, what the hell? What's happening? And it could be interesting to see if that's exactly what Right meant, or if they might need to tweak it a little bit. Yeah. Are there any champions in particular that you'd like to see in the meta that you don't think there are? You mentioned that like there's a wide variety, but any at all that you'd like to play in LCS?
Probably Diana. I think Diana's really fun to play, and I don't think she's particularly bad, but I don't think she's in a great spot where I'm like in a situation and I'm like, wow, Dan is really good here. It's just, yeah, I've never come across a situation that makes me do that. And maybe Akali, but Akali might need like a rework or something. I don't know. She's terrible.
But yeah, she'd be fun. But I mean, yeah, Diana doesn't quite have that rune glaive spike that happened last season. That was fun. Diana was a fun pick. But wrapping up the interview, do you have any last words, shout-outs you'd like to say?
Yeah, shout out to our sponsors, Corsair, all those good guys. Shout out to our fans, for the ones who did stick with us. We're gonna try our best. I think we're gonna do great this year. Actually, like last year we had some hiccups, but I think this year with the infrastructure, the players, the correct mindset to actually go far this year. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys for watching, and remember to check out our YouTube channel, check out our different social medias, and thank you for the interview, man. And we will see you guys at the LCS.
Bye.
I think it's a very, very interesting concept. It's basically a permanent tug of war. Fight. 1.